evening, everyone. Sangeeta, Akriti, please open your cameras.
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening. Any questions from the last week's session? Any questions, Akriti, Sangeeta, from last week's session?
Ma'am, I have to watch the videos again. I was
Okay.
absent in last class.
Yes, you were absent, and 1 week also you did not watch.
No, ma'am. I was having my exams going on.
Okay.
Ma'am, good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening, Arjun.
Yes,
कैसे
ma'am.
आप? How are you?
Ma'am,
Yes. How are you?
fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. आप कैसे हैं, ma'am?
Very well. Thank you.
ठीक है, ma'am. ठीक है.
Just give me a second. I'm just opening the PPT, what we were discussing. So any questions, Arjunji, from last week's session? That's what we were asking.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Because we have discussed maximum, ma'am, last week.
Yeah. So did you do all the meditations and exercises we discussed?
One or two things I practicing, ma'am. But what to say? The 21 days you said no. Something we can say to our children, and during night. What to say? 3-4 days I practiced. Yesterday just I skipped. Don't know. I slept, ma'am.
Okay.
So whether I have to start from beginning or I have to I can continue that.
Yeah. You have to start from the beginning. Try
I
and
have
do
to start
it.
from.
Yeah.
Okay. Sincerely, I have to do it.
Yeah.
Yesterday thought, but what to say? Somewhat tired, so I slept.
Sometimes it happens. When we get tired, it really happens. So that's okay.
6 days I 5 days I consciously practiced it.
Okay.
But yesterday I missed it. Yes, ma'am.
No problem. Yeah. Hi Nehaji, anything from your side? Any experience in doing any exercises and all?
Good evening, ma'am.
Very good evening.
Yes, ma'am. I joined just, ma'am.
So I'm just asking, in last week's session, we asked to do some exercises. So did you practice any of them?
Yes, ma'am. I practiced for my little daughter at night and giving gratitude. Morning and night.
Okay, that gratitude. All right. Very well.
Yeah. Actually, I practice gratitude, especially not for kids, from many days. It's my habit. It's habitual for me to give gratitude for God, my Guru, and my mother, father in morning and in night.
Okay, great. And how is the
experience?
experience?
But for kids, now I want to do more for my kids.
Okay. Any experience while you are doing this gratitude thing before sleeping?
Yes, ma'am.
Any
Actually,
changes?
yes, I observed changes, and
Yeah, what
means,
are those changes? Please,
actually,
let's discuss with everyone so that they also know.
I feel very nice, very positive. Changes in me is that. मतलब
Okay.
मुझे खुद को ही बहुत अच्छा पॉजिटिव लगता है ये सब देने से, और जो भी मेरे लाइफ में चल रहा है उसके लिए मैं बहुत खुश हो जाती हूँ। मतलब मुझे ऐसे कोई नहीं है लाइफ में कि मुझे ये चाहिए, ये नहीं मिला है, या ये है, ऐसे कुछ भी मेरे मन में रहता ही नहीं है। जो भी है उसको मैं पॉजिटिव देखना मेरा स्टार्ट हो गया था, कि किसी भी चीज में पॉजिटिविटी क्या है, और अच्छाई ही मेरे पास आ रही है रिटर्न में, नॉट एनी नेगेटिव थिंग्स कम्स रिटर्न।
Very good. Very good. Good. Arjunji, what's your experience? Did you do gratitude one before sleeping?
I did, ma'am.
What is your experience?
What to say? What to say? Daily that gratitude thing I'm practicing. Somewhat changes in my life also, ma'am. Previously, what to say? While worshipping God, I will be asking this, that. Now and all, it changed everything. Just 2 minutes, I'm worshipping God. That's all. Everything is good and everything is fine. Thank you. That's all.
Oh, that's
Or
great.
else I worship for 5-10 minutes. I want like that. Everything has to be done. Now I'm totally. For past 1 week, I was totally free. Whatever happened, I can manage it that. It is going, ma'am.
Great. Good. Okay. So
Yes.
let's continue from here what we were discussing last week, right? So just to recap very quickly, and I'll just take to this, that main goals whenever we learn yoga or any kind of new meditation is these 5. One is your physical goals, your mental health goals, your social health goals, spiritual health goals, and self-realization or realization of the divine within us. Physical goals we talked about, the discomfort, diseases or ailments, food intake, emotions and feelings, sleep patterns, and physical workout. All these things have a very, very concrete kind of relationship with us and how we have to achieve these goals through continuously practicing yoga in our life. Then mental health, obviously, we talked about inner analysis, and one of the exercises that we did, awareness of negative thoughts and then getting rid of them, clarity of thoughts that it bring, and self-confidence. Then comes to social health, how we can build genuine contact with people, how we can build better relationships with anybody whosoever is there in our life, how we can assume more positive responsibility within society, how we can work for the community and improve the community we live in, and how we can relax the entire experience and enjoy life. Then spiritual health to talk about is basically how to protect lives, which is our own lives and the lives attached with us, like people who are really, really important for us, people who really make an impression. Then respect the individuality and independence means not really looking for changing people and trying and doing that acceptance that whatever they are, however they are individuals, and that's how you have to work around these people. Then hamari tolerance, understanding, and help. And last is collaboration and compassion that increases. Then the last slide, which was left last week, was goals of self-realization, or how we can realize that there is a divine existence within us. So how many of you believe that, through yoga, you can actually reach this stage? Can you reach this stage of self-realization? Yeah, mic is off. Do you think you can reach this stage of self-realization? The question is to all 3 of you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How you can reach this stage? What can you do that can take you to this self-realization or realization of the divine, that there is something, some more powerful thing which exists?
Self-realization is the what to say last stage of our goal, because first is our basic needs. Self-realization is the last thing. So what is our ultimate aim in our life? We can understand through yoga. So that thing will happen for what purpose we are there in this world, and what is our ultimate aim, basic need. After that, need analysis will be there, no man. Step by step of need. In the self-realization is the last thing. So we can what to say find out our goals and purpose of life, ma'am.
Okay.
For that we can start to work and we can lead our life, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Neha, you were saying something?
Yes, ma'am. I think range issue. So
Sorry?
hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yoga and meditation gives us self-realization.
How? How can you reach self-realization?
Ma'am, self-realization means understanding myself better. And by yoga, we can understand ourselves better. We can understand our mental and physical body process. And if we give more time to our body and try to understand it, then we can definitely reach the stage of self-realization.
Okay. So what are the points written there in self-realization? So number one is spending time with self, right? How much time do you spend with yourself in a day? And with yourself means just purely with yourself. In the entire day of 24 hours, how much time do you give to yourself?
Hardly 10 to 15 minutes.
And what do you do in that 10-15 minutes?
I do prayers, ma'am, mantra chanting.
Okay.
By that, I feel very good.
Okay.
And then a yoga, a half-hour yoga session, morning routine.
Okay. So that half an hour and then 10 minutes of your. So that's more than 40 minutes that you're doing, right? Which is good. So 40 minutes of time spending with yourself is a very good thing, actually. Yeah. Yes, Arjunji, what do you do? How do you spend time with yourself?
Ma'am. Ma'am, can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Maximum 1 or 2 hours. What to say? Morning, I will be doing yoga. After that, what to say? For my growth and development, I will be reading newspapers, books, everything daily, and some kind of entertainment things. Watching TV also for ourselves only, no, ma'am.
Okay, but that's not spending time with
browsing.
yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Maximum 2 hours, 2.5 hours I will be spending. Apart from that, rest of the time I will be spending time for our family and for my work, for my what are the subordinates, and running behind the daily work I will be going, ma'am. That is for others only, no.
Correct.
Maximum 2 hours in 24 hours.
Okay.
If you, yes, ma'am.
Very nice. Good. Yes, Akriti. What do you do, Akriti?
Ma'am, I am praying daily and I stopped doing yoga for 1 month. But yes, I give myself time for 15 to 20 minutes daily sitting, surrounding with nature and just breathing calmly.
Okay. Right. So spending time with self is basically the time that you are alone completely. and you're doing things for yourself. So it can be yoga, it can be meditation, it can be mantra chanting, anything extra that you're doing. For example, that you see entertainment and newspaper reading and book reading and all that can be a part of it, depending upon how much knowledge are you acquiring. What is it that you are taking in? Newspaper reading and watching TV, I somewhere feel that it brings a lot of negativity also in us. So that's why I don't count it as in spending time with self. Because when the mind is open and we are reading something which is not really have some good news in it, for example, newspaper, any news that you're watching on TV, it talks about a lot of negativity around us, people dying, people doing this. And if early morning, imagine you're reading and watching all these things, somewhere the mind also gets negative into that mode, and that's why we get a lot of feelings of fearfulness, insecurity, that something might happen with us. All these feelings comes from that. So it's always good when you're spending time itself, that time itself has to be a lot of positivity. Anything that you are intaking should be very positive, should be very pure. It can be breathing exercises, it can be pranayam, it can be yoga, it can be relaxation technique, it can be painting, dancing, any such art form which brings that kind of calmness and freedom to our mind. Then second point it says is acceptance. So acceptance of who you are and what you are at this point in time. So when we spend time with ourselves means that you are giving importance to your inner self. And spending time with inner self means that a lot of times you get to know about what you're doing wrong and what you're doing correct in your life. That is when your analysis of self is happening. When you know that there are certain things which is weakness, which is your limitations, you start accepting those facts. For example, you are fearful from maybe insects. You get to know about these things when you are doing an inner analysis. When you know that you have a fear of insects, so what will you do? You will try and find a solution. Either you stay away from insects in your house, or you will try and ensure that good pest control happens in the family, and then you are getting rid of insects, right? So acceptance of what you are and what you are in your inner self is very, very important to see and realize the right divine within you. That's when you reach that stage when you know that divinity exists, and divinity is not really perfection. Divinity is acceptance of whatever it is, however form this is. That's all. For example, you go and take a walk in the nature any day, right? Any point in time. You go and take a walk in the nature. Do you try and control how the flowers are blooming, how the trees are blooming, how the waterfall is happening, how these rains are happening, completely torrential rains are happening everywhere? Can we have a control on all these things?
No, ma'am.
Why can't we have a control on all these things?
It is nature, so nature can't be controlled.
Correct. And do you realize that you are also part of the nature?
Yes, we are also part of nature only.
Correct. And how we are designed with our own limitations and with our positivity, we are also like this only. Like for example, a plant of rose, right? The plant of rose is there. When the flower blooms, you know that there are different kind of thorns also there. Kaate bhi hain usme, right? We accept that fact. So whenever you have to pluck the flower, you know that there are chances ki aapko, you might feel that prickiness in your hands. So similar thing, and we accept it open-heartedly because we know that nature has constructed it. But when we come across people, lot of people in our life, what we do is we see that yes, they are very beautiful, they are like roses, but we don't accept their thorns. We start telling them that you are wrong this way, you are wrong this way, you are wrong this way. And my relationship with you is hampered because you are wrong in so many ways. So that acceptance has to happen for self, that yes, there can be certain thorns in you also, and yes, there can be certain limitations, certain weaknesses, certain thorns in other people. Every one of us is blooming in their own way. Every one of us is growing in their own way. The only thing which is which is left, which people are not doing, is the acceptance of who we are. So that acceptance has to happen. so that you can really realize that whosoever has created us, that divine feeling has to come within us with the acceptance of whatever we are. Then third point is living authentically. Living authentically in the sense that after becoming aware that things are like this only, right? So now you start living authentically means living your truth. And living your truth is basically, what is living your truth?
Live as we are naturally.
Yeah. So what are you naturally?
Accepting strength and weakness.
Acceptance of strength and weakness. And then what? Doing what with that? Good evening, Niveda. You are here in the class. Yeah, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Niveda. Yeah, there is no voice. Okay. So living authentically means that you have acceptance of everything around you now. Now you have to live that truth every day. And live that truth means that you cannot really showcase to people that unnecessarily boasting about self. The major problem today in the life in the people's lives is basically that they want to live somebody else's truth. How they live somebody else's truth is basically comparing self with others and then showcasing that I am like that. Even if you do not have basic necessities at home, for example, you may not be having 50-inch television. You may not be having a different kind of sofa set, 7-seater, 8-seater sofa set, or anything for that matter, but showcasing outside that you are like them. You are of similar stature. You are of similar status, right? We try and boast so many things to people about us unnecessarily without knowing the truth, without knowing the you know uh, things that is authentically there. And what happens in that particular scenario is when we start showing that we are not who we are not, then we start living a life which is completely untrue. And most of us are living that life, and that is a reason of bringing unhappiness in our lives. Purely because we don't realize how we are, who we are, but we are trying to just become somebody's like somebody else. It can be anybody who can have a good impression on you. It can be somebody that you idealize. It can be somebody you compare yourself to, something or the other. So we try and start living their lives. We have more control of people in our lives than our own control. For example, you are less in budget for your family. Still, you try and teach yours to, we teach our kids, okay, you want something, I'll bring it to you. Don't ask me next time. You know that the family budget is less, but you are still trying to bring everything on EMIs. You take loans. You bring as much as facilities for your kids, for yourself. And then you start living that untruth that you have money and you are buying things for yourself. This is not you who is buying these things. It is a bank which is helping you in buying those things. And this is not living authentically, because every time you are giving an impression to your children that taking a loan from somebody is really good. Taking EMIs is very good thing. Your entire life of 30, 35 years when you're earning goes into paying those loans, paying those EMIs. And that most people still consider is at living authentically. How can you live authentically when you do not even have something which is of your own? Right? Suppose you have taken a home loan of 50 lakhs rupees. Right? Now 50 lakhs, till the time you have not paid this 50 lakhs to the bank, that home is not yours, no matter whether you are living in it or not. Can you call it your own home? but we call it, right? We put our names also, we put our name plates, everything. We bring people in home, we tell them that this is our home, right? But by God's grace, if something doesn't go the way it is planned, sometimes you're not able to pay your EMIs, and the bank people comes and take away your home from you, right? They can always, they have the authentically, I mean, they have the rights, they know they have the power on all these things. So that means you are not living authentically in that particular home every time, and this is going on from generation to generation. This is how the society has started treating us, this is how the society has built up. Take loans, go out, build as much as you want, develop yourself in terms of materialistic goodness and all that thing. And what is happening with that is we are also passing it on to our children. Take loans, take EMIs, call it yourself, and then boom, you may have been successful in paying back your EMIs. How do you guarantee that your children will be able to do that? And similarly, a lot of other things. So it is just an example I'm trying to give that this can happen, right? A lot of other things can also happen in their life. So this is what we do not call living authentically. Living authentically means that knowing that you are having a loan, knowing that you have EMIs to pay, knowing that you cannot afford more than this, knowing that this is what you are. And this is what you portray to others also. Do not try to portray that you are a crorepati. Do not try to portray that you have more than what you have. Right? This brings lot of negativity unnecessarily. This brings lot of unhappiness within us. This brings lot of insecurity. Imagine getting up every morning with that insecurity that I have an EMI that I have to pay. That 50,000 has to go somewhere out of my pocket. Unconscious mind starts getting into that mode of insecurity and fear all the time. And that insecurity of fear, we do not even realize that it stays in our mind for so long. And that is the reason most people do not reach this stage in their lifetime. They don't even, they are born, they live their life, they die peacefully, they call it peacefully, but they never reach this stage of self-realization. And it is not really something that self-realization has to be reached by the age of 60, 75, 80, nothing like that. Self-realization can be reached maybe at the age of 18 years, 15 years, 14 years, 30 years with practice. That's all. But you have to start living authentically for that. So this loan thing is just one example. There are other things also on day-to-day basis that we start living. We start showcasing to people who we are not. So this is the pure means of that. Next आता है इसमें appreciate the small things in life. So in order to achieve bigger things in our life, we stop appreciating the smaller things. Without knowing that the blessings actually exist in the smallest of the things that we live every day. For example, your child coming to you and just giving you a hug in the morning. Right? It's a very small thing that happens, but I think it's the biggest kind of love that you can actually, the purest form of love that you can actually feel. And we don't actually appreciate these things on a day-to-day basis because somewhere it becomes our habit. You know, our wife or our husband doing something for us. So maybe, someday your husband cooks for you and he or she brings something for you. Do you really appreciate that small things? Maybe because, husbands may not cook every day. That's why you appreciate. But what about the wives who cook food every day? Are we appreciating that in our lives? Do we give them thank you? Do we say that wonderful food, something or the other on a daily basis? We do not. Why? Because we have become like a robot. We have become like a creature of habits. This has become our habit, that smaller thing that is happening around us, we do not even consider this as a bliss. And when we stop living in that bliss, what happens is we bring more negativity in our life. Khane mein namak kam tha. Right? The food is not cooked properly. There is something or the other missing. So more of our time goes into complaining rather than appreciating those small things. So now this week's exercise is attached to this. Again, I am giving you so many exercises to do, but until and unless you won't practice it, you won't realize it, that how important these things have become in our lives, right? because habitually we have stopped giving thankfulness for this. So what you have to do now is that take a list of things, right? You have to create a diary, maybe on a notebook or maybe on your laptops or pad somewhere. Just create a list of the things that you should appreciate on daily basis. At least 5 things. There can be at least more than 25 things, but I'm just saying that, create a list of 5 things that you feel you're not giving thankfulness every day and they are really, really very important for you. Can you talk about those things right now? Any one of you? Any things that you feel that you are not appreciating and you should be appreciating? Nothing? Akriti?
Ma'am, parents, teachers, cook, our caretaker, staff, roommates, friends.
Yeah. Correct. The people that we have in our lives, they are the biggest blessing. So Niveda is saying the job we do, the money we earn, the knowledge we achieve. These are, yes, very, very true, important things in our life. Yes, Niveda. Yes, Arjunji. What do you think?
5 things we have to appreciate, ma'am. The thing, ma'am.
Yeah. What are the smallest things that you should appreciate in your life? And you're not doing it right now.
What to say? In day-to-day routine, what to say? So many of them are helping us. So that thing we will be what to say. We just say thanks, but we won't appreciate them for that act. That thing we can do in our office or in our house.
Yeah.
And we can what to say. Start appreciating people who help us in growing in our life. We can appreciate them.
Yes.
Because, and as you said earlier, my
Okay.
wife is daily cooking and giving food daily. Still now I have not yet appreciated any day. So I can start appreciating her also.
Yes.
Because
Very
it
important.
becomes her habit and it also become my habit of not appreciating. That thing I
Yes.
can do.
Absolutely. And it
Both of
becomes,
them became
it runs so automatically that we don't even
yes,
realize that
yes,
somebody
ma'am.
is
Yes,
doing
yes.
it for us, right, on a daily basis. Imagine all the wives getting up in the morning without understanding, without knowing their own comfort. Sometimes we are in pain, sometimes a lot of things keep happening with us, sometimes we don't feel like getting up, right? And still we get up every morning and we cook food for everyone. I don't do this, but a lot of females do that. They take that effort and start doing it for everyone in the family, and everything goes unappreciated. And
Yes.
that's a very big start. I'm not saying it for you, Arjunji. I'm just saying it in general, right?
Yes,
And
it
that's
is in general. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
yeah, and
I
that's a
also
very
accept it as it.
correct and big start of how unappreciated their day starts with, right? Imagine somebody is a homemaker, completely housewife. They do not go out to earn money or they do not go out for any socialization. Their home is their family. And there are so many women who actually do that on a daily basis. Imagine their kids and their husbands and their family members not appreciating any of the effort. And it becomes on an automated mode that yes, it is happening, this is going to happen, my room is clean, my house is clean, my food is cooked, everything is served on these things, and it has nothing, no appreciation. And this women keep doing this on and on and on, I don't know for how long. I think their entire life they spend in doing that, right? When you go out to earn money, you still get a little appreciation, maybe by your colleagues, maybe your friends, and maybe your bosses and other people for your work. But for the people who are always at home doing just those things, absolutely 100% unappreciable. Look at your own mothers, right? All of our mothers might have not been earning at that point in time. And imagine they have given their entire life into this, developing us, growing us, giving us that education, making sure that we eat properly, making sure that we go out, play on time, all those things they have done. And how many times have you appreciated your mother? Hardly ever. And we start realizing all these things when they are no more, when they are no longer there available in our families. They've gone. And then you realize missing all those things, that how important she was, how important this person was in our life. Similar thing goes with the father also. They go unappreciated. They bring money at home, they do all kind of things, they may not sit with you for a longer period of time, they won't understand how are you spending your day, because their life is like that. You are a father, you do not get to spend so much of time that you want to spend with your family. And that also go unappreciable, that you are actually moving out, bringing that money so that they can afford all the good things in their lives, right? So appreciation is very important. Now, when you have realized that for self-realization it is important, and somewhere it is related with our mental peace as well. No matter how good things you do, no matter how much meditation you do, how much relaxation do, but when you are not able to appreciate things, even if the bed that you get up in, the mattress that is there under you, they are making your sleep comfortable, you should appreciate that. That's the bliss. Most people in their entire lifetime do not get to sleep on the mattress, and that's a fact. But what we keep doing is that we keep realizing that our mattress is not really good. Let me buy a better one. Let me earn more money to get the better one. Right? That is also good. There is nothing wrong in doing that, bringing your own comfort. But why have that comparison with only the good ones? Why not have a comparison with the people who are not able to afford that? And then you realize that this is the bliss that you have all along. The right education that you have got is a bliss that is there. Right? How many times do we appreciate that? So anything for that matter, where you live, you are always revolved around these things. And these are smallest part of the daily habits, the smallest part of the daily things that we actually live, but we still do not appreciate. So the exercise is to start appreciating. At least make a list of 5 activities on a daily basis, create that list and send it across to me, and say thank you for that. It's very important to give gratitude. The real bliss, the real happiness is basically when you realize that you are surrounded with so many blessings on a daily basis. Right? If your own mental state is very good today, isn't it a bliss?
Yes, ma'am.
You are able to take some important decisions, whether in office, whether at home, or for any such things. Isn't it wonderful blessing that you have? Right? So start living those things and become conscious about that. So the whole idea of self-realization is becoming conscious. So when you do this mantra chanting, or when you do this energy point chakra meditation, this is the place which actually is of self-realization. This and the crown chakra. This opens up your consciousness to a level, and these exercises of self-realization helps us work on this particular energy center in our crown chakra energy center. So along with yoga, along with your pranayama, meditation, these smaller activities of realization of how good people are, how good our physical, like Niveda is saying, the time that we have, the physical fitness, our children's love for us, they patiently wait for us all day that we will come and give them time, show interest in their studies, all that. So this is absolutely pure bliss. Correct? Understood that? All right, great. So this is about
Yes, ma'am.
your goal setting for how do you, I mean, this is the goals that you have with yoga. I'm not sure if that was taught to you in those 4 months, but this is a very important start of life coaching. Once you start realizing that these 5 goals has a really, really important place in your life, then you start making an effort to change that. When you start making an effort to change that, that means you start living authentically. When you live authentically, then you will be able to train other people. Then you will be able to show other people the path they should follow. So first is to follow that, create that path for yourself, follow the path yourself, and then help other people show that path. So that's the journey of a life coach. That's how life coaches. So that when people come to you, imagine now you have a game, a sport called cricket, right? Everybody is aware about cricket. How cricketers become good cricketers is through the help of a coach, right? Imagine now you play somebody who is a very good dancer and you make that dancer a cricket coach. Do you think that person will be able to give them that coaching properly?
No, ma'am, no.
Right? Very simple example. Why that person will not be able to give the right coaching? Because this person has never played cricket themselves. They don't know what actually happens. So similar things happen with life coaching also. If you have not realized what life is, you're not living that life authentically, you will not be able to teach anybody else that how to live authentically. Correct? Great. Yes, practicality is important, Niveda. Very true. Why is Neha and Sangeeta not opening the cameras and not talking also? How many times do I have to repeat, that open your cameras and talk? These sessions are about talking only. I want to know about your life
Hello.
so that, yes, I want to know about your life so that I can tell you what are you doing right and wrong.
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, today I am not feeling well,
क्या हो गया?
so not able to express myself that much openly.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What happened? Physical health or mental health?
Physical also or mental also. Actually, I behave very harshly with my kids before 1 hour. So actually, I'm physically ill and they disturbing me while coaching. So I actually
that
I'm taking
happens.
coaching of kids up to 10th standard. While
Okay.
I'm teaching to them, my kids not listening to me, so I give slap to them.
Okay.
So
That's a part
actually,
of mother's life. Yeah, that's okay.
yeah, but I disturb a lot due to that thing only.
No. See, you don't have to feel disturbed about slapping your child. Why I tell you? See, again, this is very importantly
No,
living
no.
life.
Actually,
Yeah.
I behave too much harshly today with them. I didn't behave like this before. Before all the in front of all the my tuition kids, I slap both of them. So it is not my way of punishment,
I
but
understand.
I break that, so that's why.
That's okay. Right? Don't feel guilty about what you have already done. Don't regret. See, again, why I'm talking about this is because having this feeling of guilt on a daily basis is again not healthy for mental health. What is done. That's okay. What you can learn as a lesson is that maybe next time onwards I'll have more patience and I will not be able to treat them like that.
Yeah.
That's the
Actually,
only
I'm
lesson we can
thinking.
learn. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm thinking how I lose my patience today. So I get to know that just I'm thinking about that only. I'm not 100% present in this class also.
Because your mind is somewhere else.
So
Yeah.
yeah. That's why I'm not opening camera also, or not able to express my feelings also. Actually, I'm not feeling well physically also from last 2 to 3 days. So might be that is the cause why I broke my patience. And the exams are going on and 10-12 students around me, so maybe happened due to that also.
Yeah. So your body also need rest and your mind also need rest. Give it rest. That's the only thing that you need right
My
now.
kids' exams are also going, and
It's
tuition
all
kids'
right.
exams
See,
are
the
also going.
exams will keep going on everywhere all the time. But see, we discussed this last week, right? Till the time you are not
Hmm.
filled with that rest and care, how will you give it? And you saw that you are not filled with that rest, you are not feeling healthy yourself. So obviously the repercussion was that you lose your patience somewhere. And these are all interrelated things. So understanding self means that spending time. If your body is telling you, if your mental state is telling you take rest, so take rest, it's okay. 2 hours spending time on your end, close the room. I know sometimes in some places it gets difficult, but till the time you will not taking that initiative for yourself, nobody else is going to come and be bothered about you. For our own health, for our own self-care, it is you who is more important. I always do that. My son's exams are going on. I was not physically fit today. um, because of something. And then I told him that go study in your room. I need rest for 2 hours because I have a class in the evening. And I just told him that let me close my room, let me sleep for 2 hours, and that's all. And I slept very peacefully. And because now they have become into this habit, because I always tell them that my health is important and they understand this. So you have to create that habit in your own room that you are important for yourself and you need rest, right? So it's give time to yourself means not these things that you do in the mornings only. Give time to yourself is understanding the body needs, understanding the physical and mental needs of the body as well. Spend time, sleep. Yes, Niveda ji, you're saying, yeah, she realized this is not the way I behave and aware. Sometimes we understand. So what will be really helpful, ma'am? Mindfulness is disturbed. Yes, mindfulness is disturbed, Niveda, in this case purely because how what signals our mind has given us that the mind needs rest. Ultimately, you are human beings. We are all human beings, right? And when we are human beings, our body has their own needs, our mental state has their own needs, our spiritual health has its own needs. When we do not realize those needs, what happens is then we get into a different mode altogether. That anger that we were talking about last time, when Sangeeta asked this question that how do we manage all these emotions? So this is purely because of that. So our short temperedness, our losing patience, unnecessarily, getting bothered with things, smallest, all these things start happening with us. So understanding your needs is very important and taking rest is never a wrong thing. I don't know how this concept of just sleeping at night for 8 hours came. Earlier people in our Vedas and Upanishads, it is never written this way. In Gurukul studies also, it was shown that after 2 classes of physical activity, you need to take rest for half an hour. That's how Gurukul studies were also being given. It's only when the Britishers came, they created a system that 8 hours school should be there, 6 hour studies should be there continuously. Imagine a small brain, imagine a brain, and you're just throwing things in the brain for 8 hours into a kid. How many things can a kid acquire out in those 8 hours? Hardly anything. People who become best in the studies also only understand it to the level that they can write it in the exam. You ask them different kind of concepts, hardly any kid will be able to give you all the concepts that they have studied in 8 hours in a day. This entire system of how we are giving education is actually bringing a lot of negativity. And once we have realized this as a parent, most of the parents who have realized this, many of these kids have children, I mean parents have started doing homeschooling to their children. Last 3 years you will see the percentage of people being home studies has increased so much. And yes, corona played a very big role in that, into realization that whatever kids were studying in school was, half of it was not really useful. So once as a parent you have realized this, now that all this education system is not good, obviously you cannot stop sending your children to school, but how you can manipulate, how you can change that thing is by showing them that getting marks is not the only objective. Understanding the concepts is the objective. And even if your interest is not in science and maths, you are good in social studies, so it's okay to bring good marks in social studies only. Get average marks in others, but become a good social studies person, or any such things, right? For that matter, it's impossible for a human brain to accept all that. People were talking about 100% marks in 10th and 12th. I cannot believe that so many people can bring 100% marks. There is something wrong in the way we are asking them to write the answers. How can a human mind write exactly what you want to listen to? It is not possible. Humanly, it is not possible. Right? And now then we are giving admissions in Delhi University to children who are getting 99.6% marks. How is it possible? What is going to happen with other people? You are saying indirectly that other children are not good in their life. Right? And somehow it becomes like that. I tell you my own example. Again, I'm not boasting about this, but the toppers of our class everywhere, whether in school or college, are not doing that great. How much I have tried to build up in my life. I was average student, maybe a topper in one or two subjects, but generally above average student, really. And not just with me, I think all the above average students of our class in school and college and post graduation are doing much better than the toppers today, in terms of earning money, in terms of living the life that we want, in terms of the purpose of things that we want to achieve. So this is up to you how you want to concentrate and where you want to concentrate. Understand that and give yourself relaxation. Stop yourself. Every 3 months, take at least one day off for yourself. Go out somewhere. It can be with your family, it can be with your friends, it can be solo trip, anything. Just do that. It's very important to stop, relax, and give gratitude. Pause. Those pauses, see, जब आप प्राणायाम करते हो या you do yoga, pauses are important for yoga. These pauses are there so that you can reflect that your prana, which is your breathe, is happening in your body continuously. When you take that pause, your mind stops thinking about everything else. So you have to come to that stage in your life every day when you stop thinking about anything else. It's just the prana which is there. Understand that, and then the relaxation will happen very, very sharply. And coming out of this physical discomfort, again, you can practice pranayama. Do it for 5 minutes, and then you will be fine to go. जब लगे गुस्सा आ रहा है, any time when you feel that you are angry, what you can do is उस time पे just take 2 minutes breather. Do this chanting, any chanting that you want to do, or do take that breathing exercise. Immediate relaxation है तुम्हारे पास तो, you have that mantra with you that you have learned how to do pranayam. Pranayam brings immediate relaxation to brain. Immediate, just try it. Whenever you are angry, whenever you are losing temper, whenever you feel that you are not really in your senses, something is going wrong, impatience is happening, 2 minutes, go into your toilet. If there is no other place, go to your bathroom, sit relaxed, and just do chanting. Simple. And in 2 minutes, you will feel much better. Yeah?
Ma'am, once you said, what to say that.
Thank you so much. Now I feel good. Actually, from last 10 minutes, I'm thinking about to speak about this, but
no, share your experiences. See, that's how you will become life coaches, better life coaches, while sharing your own experiences. Right? That is the reason why I tell about myself also, and not in the case that we have. I am not an overachiever, but just to give you example how we were. So if you would have seen me 6 years back, roughly, I was very short tempered. Short temper in the sense, at the blink of the eye, I used to get angry on everything, whether in my office, whether at home, everywhere. And these 6 years of these meditation, relaxation, understanding life, all these things have changed completely. Now people say that don't actually get angry anytime, no matter what happens. Right? वो anger है ही नहीं, because you ensure something which is bothering you for long, you do not want it in your life, so you just left it out. Simple. And it can be possible. Because then I can do that, trust me. I always, wherever I have gone, people used to talk only about my short temperedness. Her attitude, her short temperedness is creating problems. everywhere. My family, my friends, my husband, everyone used to talk. And then suddenly that turnaround. So now people see that visibly. Something has really become big change. So then you also realize that, yeah, you have overcome that particular thing. So when I can overcome, you can easily overcome. Trust me.
Ma'am,
Yes,
one thing I
Arjun.
want to ask,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. Please.
Last time you said one practicing of Agam Brahma, something you said, ma'am.
Aham Brahmasmi. Yeah.
You said, but how to practice, and still now I have not practiced it, ma'am. How we have to do it?
So Aham Brahmasmi is something like what we did, Satchitananda.
Sachidananda,
Right?
I am
Yeah.
practicing, ma'am.
Right. So Aham Brahmasmi is like that only. So you have to
Okay.
practice it in the similar manner. Breathe and chant Aham Brahmasmi for 5-10 minutes.
Aham Brahmasiniyam. What, ma'am?
Brahmasmi. Brahmasmi.
Brahmasini. Okay.
Asmi. I'll just write it in the chat so that you can read.
It will be fine, ma'am. Fine, ma'am.
Yeah. This is the exact thing. How we pronounce is Aham Brahmasmi.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So that means
This
I
thing,
am
this thing we
Brahma,
can't.
I am the creator. You can get
Okay.
guided meditation on this Aham Brahmasmi chant on YouTube also.
Okay, ma'am. And
Easily.
what to say, like Om, we need to say openly also, ma'am. We can say internally, right,
Yeah,
ma'am?
yeah. Aham Brahmasmi should be chanted loudly.
Oh, it should be said loudly only.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And when you
Like
are
Om.
doing that, yeah, so your concentration should be on this portion, the yellow chakra of your body.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
The yellow energy center should be given that breathe. So, for example, you are breathing in, so fill your stomach with breathe.
Okay, okay.
And then chant Aham Brahmasmi, and then take that breathe out.
Okay.
So
While
inhale,
leaving the breath, inhale,
yeah,
Aham
inhale,
Brahmasmi.
say Aham
Okay.
Brahmasmi, and then exhale.
Exhale. Okay, okay, okay.
Do it.
After say, after completing the wordings, we have to exhale the.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
exhale.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So prana, that breathe, is the controller of our body. You can control your anger, fear, insecurities with this prana. Uh, if you know, our parents used to, whenever you used to get angry, our grandparents or parents used to say that sit down, have a glass of water, right? Every time, whenever somebody gets angry, older people used to tell them, and it has a reason why they say that. The scientific reason, or that reason where it brings quick remedy to you is because when you sip a glass, sip water, sip a glass of from a glass of water, it instantly breaks your breathing. When you get angry, what do? You start breathing, in a more fast manner, right? Your breathing increases because you are angry. So the moment you stop, the moment you pause, the moment you take that sip of water, it controls your breathe immediately. And the moment the breathe is back to the normal, suddenly your anger is also gone. So that's the scientific reason why people say that sit down, relax, have a sip of water. Right? So that's a pure thing. And do it always. You can practice it on you. Whenever you are very angry, just go into the kitchen, pour yourself water, sip that water, and you will see that your breath has come to the normal self. And moment the breath is normal self, but उसके बाद भी अगर झगड़ा करने का मन है, then you can carry on, do the झगड़ा. That is also important sometimes. But otherwise, yes, your anger generally goes away like that. So see, goal self-realization is the realization that this Aham Brahmasmi, that something is divine within us. We keep looking at outside. We build idols ourselves. We create, we make Ganpati, we make Durga, we make so many idols in our life, and then we keep praying on them. A human made thing made by us, created by us, and we keep idealizing that, maybe with dhoop batti, agarbatti, diya, whatever you do on a daily basis. What we are ignoring in this entire process is that divine existence is always within you. But do you consider yourself as temple? Do you consider yourself as that pure? How can you have negative thoughts about somebody and then you're praying to in a mandir, in a temple? That means somewhere impurity is going in the mandir also. Right? So similar thing has to happen, that cleanliness of our body, mind, and spiritual self is very important before we start doing that. Because when you pray, right, you are asking something from the divine, right? That I need car, I need something, or I need something. But your mind is filled with comparisons from others. Your mind is filled with so much of negativity in unconscious, subconscious way. So that means, and then we say ki we are not able to manifest. God is not listening to us. How will God listen to you when you have so many things going on from your mind, from your subconscious stage to Him? So, first is to clear your mind, your brain from all those negative things, and then pure heartedly ask for anything. Anything will come true. You will be able to read that stage of self realization where people become divine, and we start looking at these people that they have become a divine themselves, and we start following them. They become our gurus. So, for example, these Sadgurus and these Ravi Shankar, all those people, they have attained that self realization somewhere. Not really 100%, but somewhere they are close to that because they are able to influence so many lives in their lifetime. Right? So, that self realization is achieved by very few percentage of people in this entire lifetime. The more you will concentrate on this, the more you will be able to achieve this. And the day you will achieve this, you will see how different you have become. Right? So the ultimate goal of yoga in all the Upanishads, in all the Yoga Nishads is this only, that through your physical self, through your mental self, how are you reaching the divine? So that reaching divine within self is very important. Every morning, every day, give gratitude to smallest thing, because ultimately God is also in the smallest of the things. How come so many different flowers are there with so many different colors? I was watching Discovery Channel with my child, and we were watching some program where there were different kind of fishes they were showing, and I was amazed. So many different variety of fishes, different colors, different kind of designs, and they all live underwater. We may not be able to see all of them through entire lifetime, but imagine somebody who's created them so much of time. Maybe a small lining of yellow color on a small fish, and the other one there is an orange and white flower kind of a design on their body. How come so many different kind of things exist? So that means somebody who is created has given importance to smallest of the things, that perfection is happening in that fish. All the fishes of that creature look similar, orange kind of flowers on their body, right? So when they have given so much of detailing to smallest thing, why are we not appreciating those smaller things? And that's the whole crux of life. When you start appreciating smaller things, you stop comparing yourself with others. You will never say my eyes are not really that big, that her eyes are better than mine, my hair are thinner than her hair. So all these things will stop happening because you are appreciating yourself. So live, make your body your temple. Start realizing that you are the divine field. You have been created in that form. Once you do that, there is an ultimate, a different goal that you will be achieving. Yeah, yes, Niveda, nature is always amazing. I am always amazed. And I actually see smallest of the things. Many. When you spend time with nature, you understand that, different things are happening around us. We don't get bothered about what are we living life as a robot. Correct. So this is the entire thing about goals and things. If you are ready, we can practice Om chanting. I'm not sure, Niveda, would you be able to do that? You're still traveling. Or we do it when we end the class, right? You want to take 5 minutes break, everyone? Yeah, take 5 minutes break. Let's come back and then we will start the next presentation. Yeah. So I'm here. Come back in 5 minutes and then we'll start. It's 6:25 by my watch, so 6:30 will start again. Shall we start? You're all back? Okay. So far we were talking about how yoga can help in setting goals, right? And what are the yoga goals of yoga, and how you have set your goals for yourself. So now let's practice and let's talk about how coaching with yoga can help others. Right? So first we will talk about coaching with yoga, and maybe next week onwards we'll talk about how normal life coaching can help, so that the emotional coaching people can also understand this. So how do you think that you can help other people coach with yoga?
Because some people will approach us, what to say, they have stress in their work and in family. By making them to practice yoga, pranayama, they can get relief from their stress and they can lead a happy life, ma'am.
Right.
So that is coaching through yoga. With
Okay.
yoga.
Okay. Anybody
Asking
else?
them to practice mindfulness, ma'am.
Asking them to practice?
Mindfulness while doing yoga, like asking them to concentrate on whatever action we are doing currently. Like that, you can ask them to apply the same theory in their day-to-day life also, each and every activity that they're doing. Suppose if they're cooking currently, they should concentrate only in cooking. If they are playing with kids, they should concentrate only playing with kids rather than letting their mind wander on some other things or dwelling on some other thoughts. So that is one way of practicing life coach on others through yoga.
Yes. Correct. Okay. Anybody else who wants to share how they can practice coaching with yoga? Okay. So let me tell you the objectives. What are we going to talk about in this particular? So number one is that it is very important to discover the tools and approaches of yoga coaching. Are you aware about what are the tools that you are going to use in yoga? And how are you going to help people achieve those things using those tools and techniques? And what are those tools and techniques in yoga? We discussed this in goal setting also, that are you aware that let's say if it is Surya Namaskar, the entire cycle of Surya Namaskar, how can Surya Namaskar help me achieve my physical and mental goals? What kind of goals can be achieved through one Surya Namaskar?
Through Surya Namaskara, our whole body get regenerated.
Yes. Okay.
Peace of mind, our body become flexible, and due to that, our lifespan increases.
Okay. What else can be achieved through Surya Namaskar? Anybody else?
Ma'am, while doing the postures, the technique of breath is going to help us in mental health.
Yes, that can happen mental health also.
By doing Surya Namaskar, it is a, what to say, single thing, because mix of many asanas and things. We can daily we can do simply Surya Namaskaram itself, 6 sets or 12 sets. It will help us to reduce, what to say, body weight or disease in our body like diabetes. It can be reduced, and And those who are aiming for a weight loss challenge, they regularly practice Surya Namaskar, they can achieve it easily. And whole metabolism in our body will get rejuvenated by doing Surya Namaskar.
Yeah, correct.
Ma'am, likewise, in Surya Namaskar, there are totally 12 exercises and you have to do it for 24 counts, like 12 cycles. So in that way, one has to have enough patience to do that, ma'am. Because mostly people will say like, I was only able to do like 3 cycles or 2 cycles in a day. So doing it for the entire 12 cycle is like it's like bringing about patience in the person, and also it is like in the process also it is like you're feeling your own self and then you're surrendering yourself to the divine power. It is like we do namaskar, we stay on the ground, we fall at God's feet and we get up. The poses are structured in that way. So it is also like surrendering yourself to the divine power and you know
Yeah.
sorry
no problems, no problems. That's it. Yes, please carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am. While practicing Surya Namaskar, we are practicing some along with mantras, ma'am. Along with breathing, it automatically calms down our mind, our nervous system. So obviously, the stresses get relieved. Along with some asanas, pranayama, everything is combined in Surya Namaskar. It's like a meditation also.
Yes. So see, why I ask this question is so that, I give you this feeling that all these yoga postures and yoga that we study in a proper manner, how you can use all these postures, asanas, pranayama, and other techniques that you are learning as tools to treat other people. Right? So what do doctors do? Right? When you go to a doctor, what do they tell you? Say you have gone to a doctor that you are feeling stomach ache for quite some time. What is the doctor going to tell you for that stomach ache?
They prescribe medicines. They will prescribe some medicines for relieving from the pain.
Before prescribing, they will do diagnosis. They will diagnose what is the problem. They will ask you to do symptoms. They will say that go to do a scan or maybe an X-ray of your stomach so that we can see what is the problem if it is persisting over a period of time. So they have their tools and equipments, right? They have ultrasound, body scan, or X-rays as tools. We as life coaches or alternative therapy coaches, what we have is we have tools which are there since I don't know how long, and we are not utilizing them. So in order to utilize them, you need to package them in a manner that to people it looks like that tools and approaches to help them. Right? So give them, sometimes people will come to you and don't know anything about yoga. They don't believe in yoga also. Then how are you going to package it? You still have to tell them to do Surya Namaskar. How are you going to tell them that do Surya Namaskar if they don't understand that and they don't believe in that? So that using this particular thing as tools and approaches is what you can do to overcome the problems that people come to you. Right? Package it so nicely that it doesn't look like that it is a Surya Namaskar. Tell it as an exercise, right? Tell that these 12 things that you do, it stretches your body. It gives breathing to your brain. It brings back agility in your body, right? So the words that you are going to use, how are you packaging the deal? So for example, in advertisements, what happens? In TV that you see, there is a normal soap and they say the soap is made of milk and roses. Is it possible to create a soap of milk and roses? We all know, right? Somewhere. But still we get so impressed by that soap that next time we go to market, we buy that soap. Let's try what is there in that, right? So that's the entire packaging of that soap, the things that they have told you over and over again on television. And that's why it is a need for you to go and create that. So that need has to be created in the way you're marketing your products, and your product is your strength, which is yoga. Make it as your strength. Understand each detail. I told you to do a study, and we will be doing that study. I'll be giving you case studies from now onwards, that how somebody who has come to you for, say, thyroid problem, what are the 5 asanas you are going to tell that person? So this is also an exercise. You want to write it down. I will see a presentation from your side on this next week. And thyroid, I'm just giving you an example. You can pick up 6 different, you are 6 people today. So pick up 6 different diseases. For example, one can pick up thyroid, one can pick up PCOD, one can pick up diabetes, one can pick up, yeah, diabetes, I said, anything. So pick up one each and then talk about it. Right? Go into the details that what kind of asanas that we can prescribe to a person who has come to us with thyroid, with diabetes. What other things that I can subscribe? What is the tool that I am creating for myself through yoga and meditation that I can increase in their life, inculcate in their life, so that their life starts changing from them? You will need to do a research on this. Google will help you out in your research, and whatever ma'am has taught you might be able to help you in that research. Do that research, find out, and this similar activity has to be done by each one of you if you want to become a yoga life coach. Not just for one disease, for every disease. You would know. It should come on the tips. Like for doctors, it comes on the tip. They study the medicine for 4 years and then they practice it for 1 year. Similar thing you will have to do. So practice it, use it at least for 6 months on yourself, and then start telling it to others. Do not take any medicines for anything that happens to you. Try and not take. I'm not saying that don't even go for. Something persists, then obviously you can go for medical science. But try and see how your body is adapting to yoga and meditation and alternative therapy tools, and how you're changing that in you. In last 6 years, I think I have taken just one tablet, Prosin, once. Then I felt that the fever is really high. Last 6 years, I have never taken any medicine, and touch wood, my family also, we have not given any medicine to anyone. Because we practice yoga, because we practice meditation every day. It has become a part of the life. If I don't do yoga and meditation early morning or any time during the day, then it bothers me. Then something is missing in the body. And over a period of time, the body gets aligned so much that you feel like doing it. You feel happy about doing these things in the morning. So make your body attuned to understanding how different things can be cured, how different things can be taken care of, how different things can be achieved through yoga and meditation. And then you will be able to see, then that's when you will be authentically telling other people also. Second step आता है इसके अंदर. The second objective that we are going to achieve through life coaching is developing new skills to aid other yoga coaches and yoga students. So there would be many yoga therapists, yoga coaches who will come to you for life coaching also. Right? For them, you have to package the entire deal in a different manner. How we are doing in this classroom. Like somewhere you already have taken a certification of yoga in last 4 months. Now you are on the way of, or on the path of becoming yoga coaches yourself. So how are we packaging the entire deal? We are going to give you knowledge about how you can pick up your own leadership style or your coaching style, how you can pick up goal setting, different methods, how you can use all these researches, how these tools in becoming much better yoga coaches. So the entire thing requires new skills to aid within you. Right? Then third step is achieve the necessary skills to facilitate yoga trainings or workshops. Now, because most of your time, most of your things is going towards yoga. So how are you going to facilitate those trainings and workshops? That's very important. The ultimate aim obviously is to increase our income and get paid, right? It's very important because nothing goes for free. If you have attained some knowledge, if you have become good in something, ultimately you want to go out and ensure that you are being paid for the time that you are spending on people. You have acquired that knowledge by payment. So obviously your goal ultimately is to bring more money, right, in your pocket. But not just the money, also the satisfaction has to come. Satisfaction that every person who has come to you has got something from you. At least one new thing, at least one new tool, at least one different kind of technique that he or she has learned from you. So ensure that, and then try and conduct yoga trainings and workshops. Initially, you might have to introduce it for free. Maybe, going in a school, collaborating with a college, collaborating with the corporate sector, somewhere, or maybe for a lesser money. Once you build your name, once you understand that you have that necessary skills, you have reached that stage, you will feel that confidence yourself that I am at that stage where I can talk about 20 different things without reading anywhere. All that knowledge is acquired in you. For example, when teachers come to school every day, right? Like Neha is also a teacher. You don't look into the pages every day, right? Over a period of time, you become so confident about the content, about the knowledge, about the skill that automatically things comes to you. And that's what as a yoga trainer or as a yoga coach you can also do. So practice it so hard, read and research about it so well that ultimately everything is coming to you automatically. Fourth point is make a significant contribution to communities and organizations. Right? Sometimes aisa hoga that in a group coaching you are suppose attached to a corporate office or a school or a college. People will come to you and ask you, I need this help from you because I am facing this problem. So helping communities, that significant contribution in one person's life is really, really important. What I want to say is that don't look every time for money. That you have to make money. Major contribution we are doing is basically sending out these feelers again. Why people love the Prime Minister Modi these days? Why everybody is he's so popular in such a less time period? What is that one quality in him? Even if you don't like him, that's okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the way he leads, but yes, there is a quality in him.
He gave importance for yoga, ma'am.
Okay, he gave importance to yoga.
For yoga, and he that yoga day, everything he celebrated, and some kind of importance he gave for yoga.
Yeah, that is also very important. Good, yes. Anything else?
Connecting with people.
Connecting with people. Okay. What else?
Ma'am, like even he knows that he's got equal amount of hatred from people. He never shows that on his face. Like he's not very like discouraged, or he's not reflecting that negativity outside. He looks very neutral. So I feel that is one strong quality of him, ma'am. And he just keeps doing his plans for the nation. So he remains undisturbed. Besides the positive review that he gets, or the negative
Yeah,
review that he gets.
exactly. Right. So this is very important. And yes, Neveda also said correctly. He is oriented in tradition and culture. So one thing, what made him popular is that his need of bringing our Indianness, our Hinduism, not Hinduism actually, but Indianness. That those things which are created in India, those things which are ancient, those knowledge, those contributions, everybody who has done in India, he's trying to highlight that to the world. So that's one important thing I like about him. Not just talking about Hinduism, because we are not just Hindu country, but so many other things that India has created. If we go into the deeper details of how our Upanishads and Vedas actually talk about, he's trying to showcase it to the world that so many powerful things exist in India. and that has to come out. So like, Arjunji said that yoga is important, he created that yoga day and all that. Very importantly, people in Western countries were trying to play around yoga in such a very, very bad manner. I saw a video where this woman was trying to create beer yoga. Imagine that you are doing performing asanas and you are having a sip of beer. What is the use of doing yoga if you have to do? I don't know. Alcoholism and yoga doesn't go together. You can enjoy alcoholism. There is a time during the day that you can, if you want to. But how can you change the entire structure of yoga through all these nonsense things, right? Then this power yoga people who have come suddenly, mushrooming. So there is nothing called power yoga in any of the Shastra, any Vedas. There is advanced yoga we talk about, but there is no power yoga that we talk about. Power yoga is a Western culture that India has started adapting. In Ashtabhuja asanas, in Ashtabhuja yoga, they don't even talk about a single thing about power yoga. They say that advanced stages of yoga, you become such a yogi or yogini that your body gets attuned to higher form of relaxation through yoga. You stretch your body in a manner because you have control over your breathe so much that you can perform contortism also. Right? How you can mold your body. Have you seen people who can their body becomes so flexible that they can actually come in a very small box of glass, or they can package themselves in a small glass box or small, maybe a hard box. How
More
it is
flexible.
possible? Yeah, so they call this art as contorism. This is basically an art through which you can control your breathing so much that your body can start becoming so flexible and they start understanding, right? So people are performing this art using yoga tools, but they don't call it yoga because they call it something else in Western countries. And Western countries has actually given this so much of importance, right? They market it so well. Now imagine something that has gone from here has become so popular outside. We do not even have so much of contortionist here in India. But through yoga, it is achievable. I saw videos of people who went to Himalayas where they are not wearing anything. Just by breath control, they are able to achieve uh, climbing this Everest, Mount Everest, and many other mountains. Right? How is it possible? So when yoga has that much of capability, why we Indians, why we people who are practicing it are not talking about it? Again, we are packaging it that you can perform power yoga, you can do so many different things using these yoga tools purely from the Western point of view. That Indianness, the way it has been incorporated, the way it has started, people don't read the scriptures at all. How many of you in 4 months read those scriptures about yoga, which is written in Upanishads? Right? So that research part is not there. Right? That research is very important to come so that you become an authenticated seller of yoga, because you're selling those asanas to people. But how that breath control is happening, what changes it is bringing to your body, are you showcasing that to people? It's okay. When you went to school, how in science classes they were teaching you about human body? They had a skeleton or they created a diagram through which they were showing that this is your liver, this is your this is your this, right? This is how. So without showcasing, they were not able to tell us, and how will we know about it? And the more advanced sciences you learn, the more advanced they go and open up your heart and show you, open up arteries and show you, open up different kind of things and show you. So why can't we do the same thing in yoga? How you're taking the breath, where exactly it is reaching in the first stages, how second stage it is reaching, what effect it is creating on your body and your brain, what percentage of oxygen it is taking and it is increasing in your body, how lovely and beautiful bodies have changed. People have become much more younger. I mean, they started looking much more younger over years for practicing yoga. How it is possible? So all these things are possible with the intake of right amount of oxygen in the body. The right amount of oxygen is always available. How we are utilizing and how much intake is happening on a day-to-day basis is what yoga teaches. So this is the scientific way of telling yoga. Right? Because ultimately, see, when we talks about yoga and meditation, people say that it is more Hinduism kind of a thing, but it is not. Right? The Christians are also performing, the Muslims are also performing. The moment you say yoga, they say, no, we won't. Because our culture, our religion do not allow us to. But the moment you package it in a nice manner, you tell them, I'm sorry, just 1 second. Yeah. So the moment you package it, yes.
In that case, when you're like doing a life coach along with yoga to another person from a different religion, and if they're very uncomfortable with the asana names or the mantras that you're chanting,
don't tell them mantras. Yeah, don't tell them. Why will you tell them mantras? Right? So somebody who's a Muslim will not chant mantras because their religion doesn't allow them. Right? And we have to be very sensitive.
What if they feel very uncomfortable when we tell the mantras or something? Because while starting the yoga session, we tell one mantra, and while ending, we tell one mantra.
See, again, we do not understand the essence of yoga. The essence of yoga is never mantra chanting, only Hindu mantra chanting. When we go to school, when I take sessions in schools for yoga, so I don't tell them that do Om chanting because there are kids of different religions. So I tell them chant the name of the God that you believe in. It can be Allahu Akbar internally, it can be Jesus Christ, it can be anything. Just repeat that name in your mind, in your brain, and then do that. If you are an Om believer, say Om. If you believe in Jesus Christ, take his name. If you say something else in your religion, just take that name. So whatever things that you believe in, that becomes your mantra. So mantras are not just Hindu mantras. Mantras can be anything that gives power to you, your body.
Okay.
Actually, Om is not related to religion, no, ma'am.
Right. It is not. But some people still believe that, right? See, how we are able to market it, that is the whole purpose of, see, bringing Indianness. That's why I said Indianness and not Hinduism, because Om is such a universal sound. People do not even know about it. Because we only talk about it from the Hinduism point of view.
Ma'am, in that thing, the same Om can be said as A-U-M.
Yeah,
like we can say now.
Absolutely.
A-U-M. That also similar kind of effect it will give, and it won't portray any religion. Right?
Correct. So, again, very, very beautiful thing you said. How are you packaging it is what is the research that you have done on things, right? Your knowledge and research are connected. The more you get to know in deeper level about all these things, the more you will be able to. So last 10 years, I extensively studied about Upanishads wherever I could find. Still, it is not complete, because they are not available freely. You have to go to libraries to search. Google may not have the purest form of Upanishads and Vedas, right? So it takes huge amount of time in doing your research. And once that research is complete, we want everybody to know and concentrate on what are the scriptures which are written and how they talk about body changes through yoga and meditation. Through taking a powerful name, right? Even if you just say that I am in a state of bliss. So that word bliss, what is the meaning of that bliss for us? Right? How you can package it in a manner that it is reaching out to different people. And that is when the study of other religions is also important. What is written in Bible is very important to know if you have different kind of things. So that will also come to you. So religious things will come to you later on. But first is to focus on yoga and meditation, how you can package it differently. Right? The second level of research you can do is study about various religions and cultures. That's when you will be able to become much better. See, international life coach is very, very, what do you call it? It has a vast possibility of you becoming successful, right? Because Western countries do believe in our Indian Upanishads, Vedas, how do we give them? If you have ever been to Kerala and Rishikesh, people from different countries come to these places only to learn yoga and meditation. Right? Rishikesh is always full of people like that. So they have such interest. How you're packaging your entire thing is going to attract them to you. Right? And you can only become international yoga culture when you know about their religion a little bit more. Right? And how you can entirely teach them all these things. All right, so next point is find out new strategies to guide you in achieving physical alignment and techniques to connect deeply with your practice. How you can connect. So we have already spoken about this, that physical alignment, if they do not know about yoga and asanas, how are you going to give them those remedies? So give them that as exercises, give them as that it is Pilates. So Pilates is what? They are asking people to do stretches. How do they do stretching of their body? They can do stretching of their body through yoga. Everything is written in yoga Upanishads, right? So you are just telling them how they market it in Western countries now. It's called Pilates. So now Pilates is, if you go do watch the videos, it's nothing but yoga. So you can always tell them the alternate name. You already know that perform Pilates, perform stretching, and then you are doing yoga, right? So this is how you have to do. So you have to strategize. The planning has to be done in a manner that your whole package is looking like that it is readily available for everyone. And then enjoy that experience when you are teaching people about new attitude and how they can acquire new things in them. Then next point is enhance training skills required by leaders of today. When we are talking about corporates and schools and colleges, if you are going to collaborate with them, it is very important that you understand that how as a leader, if I am performing certain yoga or meditation techniques, how and what it is bringing in me as a leader. Right? So we do executive coaching for leaders. There is a different kind of a product which is packaged. We do it for corporate people, for CEOs, for people who are in leadership roles. The same asanas, but the way you are teaching them, the way you are telling them, and how it is becoming more powerful, how it is increasing that powerfulness in you so that you can train more people under you as a CEO, right? So you have to package that, and your training skills have to become like that. Then it comes to all about your training skill, how you are going to train other people, how you are going to see, because when you are training normal people in the sense people of every strata, but when you go to corporates, or suppose you have a principals of 10 schools who have come to you that we want to create a group and then we want to do this, obviously your body language, obviously the things that you tell them, you are going to talk about their leadership, because they have to manage so many people. Management of more people becomes more complex, more stress, more anxiety. So how are you packaging again that entire thing? Those packages are to be ready by you. That's the objective of life coaching through you. For various groups of people, for various different levels, for various different things, package it so nicely that everything is available with you by the time you are marketing yourself as life coach. Then learn how to incorporate coaching your colleagues and staff through your conversations. In your day-to-day conversations with people, you need to start talking in a manner that you are looking like a counselor, a meditative person, a life coach normally, right? Don't go overboard, don't oversell yourself, don't keep talking about yourself and your techniques and all that, but bring those things in your daily talks so so nicely that it comes automatically, and that will come when you start practicing it automatically. Like for example, you have a body pain, say maybe in your right leg, right? And you yourself has achieved that thing, that through yoga and meditation only you have taken care of that particular pain permanently. There is nothing now, right? So once you have done that, only then you will be able to show that experience to other people, right? In your daily conversation in office, maybe with your friends, maybe with your colleagues, you will say that I did these three things and then it's gone. These are the things I did. So that's a normal talk, normal conversation that's for you. And it can only become normal conversation when you have done that yourself. It will never become. You cannot read something and make it as a normal conversation. Right? Then it will not come authentically. Last is helping colleagues overcome problems, adapt to change. So, as I said, it can never be about money all the time. So sometimes you have to give them some free consultations. Sometimes you help them achieve something, smaller changes, trying and do that. That's when it happens, then it becomes much more easy to convince them that you have that power in you. Right? Like, in older days, what used to happen? Who used to be our life coaches? People who are older, who had wisdom, right? We used to go for decision making, asking, consultation. Uh, our family members used to take bigger decision, asking older people because they had wisdom, they had seen the world, people who have traveled. So life coaches are actually those people, right? People who have acquired wisdom and knowledge. So you have acquired wisdom and knowledge in one area, which is yoga, totally in a manner that you are able to sell it out to people nicely. But don't just become a yogi, become a yogi life coach, yogini life coach, right? Start calling yourself yogini once you have obtained this certification. Enroll yourself in, what do you call it? I think Ayush Bharat. It is this website. Yeah, so read this slide. So only 8,000 yoga practitioners are registered for 1.35 billion people in India. Right? Only these 8,000 yoga practitioners are authenticated yoga practitioners in India. And
I
there
mean,
is
which
no
website we have to register it?
There is a website called Ayush Bharat, but you can only register once you have a certification, any 6 month certification. Okay. So once you complete this course, this is a 6 month course. That's why we've designed it that way. Once you have this certification, you can register yourself as yoga life coach or yoga yogini, whatever.
Can you please text that?
I will
website?
text that. I will let you
Okay,
know on
ma'am.
WhatsApp, right? Send the link.
Okay.
This is Ayush Bharat, something there.
Thank
So the market is such big that you have 1.35 billion people, okay? 135 crore people here in India who you can teach. So that market is so big. Even if you're charging 200 rupees per session, still there is a very big market. So as a beginner, I'm just saying 200, but from beginning, try and fix up a money which you think is related to your time and energy that you are going to do that. Right? So do that. So rest of the things we will complete tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, right? So we will meet. So rest of the slides we will talk about it. Right? So it has a meaning of how different versions, where exactly yoga is written in how many forms, what is the meaning of these words, Sanskrit words which is written, how can we translate that? So we will talk about all that. Correct? See you tomorrow. Have a very good day. We will do Om chanting tomorrow morning. I know you know Om chanting really well, but we will do in the morning itself. Any questions so far?
We have to present. We have to present on in.
Yes, that presentation will be next Saturday, where you have to present one disease. How are you going to help people with that one disease as a life coach? Correct? Do your research and show me that research.
Because what to say, how we can select the disease, ma'am? Any disease or some, if we select repetition will be there, and how each of us can select separate diseases, ma'am?
Let us know your diseases in WhatsApp group, and then we can decide who is taking what.
Right, ma'am. Right. Okay.
So then we can decide.
Ma'am, can you select mental health issues like postpartum?
Yes, you can take stress, anxiety, anything, and for anyone.
Okay.
Diseases is not just physical; it can be mental one also. So you can pick up dementia, you can pick up anything, but you have to show your research that for dementia, what are the yoga things that you can actually bring in, and research says that it can correct that. So that is the
Ma'am, is
research.
there any
intent.
breakup for this, ma'am? Like objective of the study, and what are the?
I'll write it
subheadings
in the
that-
group. That 4 headings, 4 slides you have to create, right? I'll just write it in the group.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah? So just let me know what are you picking in the group, and then we can decide which one is taking what. Or you can decide right now why in the group. All 6 of you are here. So Neha, what do you
Ma'am,
want
I
to
will
pick up?
pick-
Diabetes, ma'am. Diabetes, ma'am.
Neha is taking diabetes. Okay.
Thyroid,
Arjun?
ma'am. Thyroid, Sangeeta, thyroid.
Sangeeta, you're taking thyroid. Okay. Arjun?
Ma'am,
Arjun,
PCOD, ma'am.
depression.
Ma'am, PCOD, ma'am.
Niveda is taking PCOD. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I will take what to say.
If
There are
somebody
several
can write
decisions.
it down for me, please.
Ma'am, can we write it in the group?
Let me write it in the group. Give me 1 second.
Can I take it for asthma?
Yes, asthma is good. Absolutely. fine.
I will take it for asthma, ma'am.
Okay, sorry. So I'm just repeating once again. Neha, you are taking diabetes.
Diabetes.
Okay. Arjunji is taking
Asthma.
asthma. Niveda, you have taken PCOD, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Who else was there?
Sangeeta, thyroid, ma'am.
Sangeeta.
Ma'am, Gayatri.
1 second. Just write it. Yes. Yes, Gayatri.
Postpartum depression in women, ma'am.
Very nice. Yeah. Who else is left? Akriti?
Ma'am, depression.
All right. I'll write it in the group and then I'll write what 4 slides we have to create. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. Let's meet tomorrow and please join on time so that everybody listens to what everybody is sharing.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
ma'am.
Bye, ma'am.
Thank you so much.